you doing today? You doing well? That is great to hear. I wanted to let you, or give you a little secret, I guess I would say, is it's a mantra, affirmation that you can say that I believe will help you out a lot, especially in certain regards. It's, if you're struggling with something right now, or if you're trying to figure out like when something's going to happen, or things don't seem to be working out in the ways that they're meant to be working out, or that you wanted them to work out in, but they're working out in the exact way that they need to be working out in. The thing that I want you to remember is something will happen when it's meant to happen. Like, if you can just remember those, 4 words or so? Something will happen when it's meant to happen. I guess that's 8 words. It's still something that I highly recommend. It's kind of the same thing. Like, this is something that you can use to look forward into the future and realize that something's always going to happen when it's meant to happen. And then if, say, you're struggling with something, you're like, oh, life isn't going the way that I want to. Maybe you live in a toxic environment. Maybe you can't find people to date. Maybe you can't find a job. Maybe you can't make friends. Whatever scenario that you're in right now, just realize and remember that everything happens for a reason. And you have complete and utter conscious control over changing that environment or that circumstance or that story into a positive one. You have the ability to do that. Nobody else can make you think anything. Nobody else can control you to do anything else. You have control over your thoughts. And if you want to dive into this a bit more, the book I would recommend you pick up and read, it was from a German out during World War II. He ended up writing the story. It was from a Jewish German, actually, and he was in the internment camps in Germany during World War II. And after he got out, he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And he took on a completely different perspective from a lot of the other inmates, the captives in the concentration camps. He realized that the guards could not take away his perspective. They could not take away his ability to change his perspective on the world. And I believe that a lot more people need to have this in their lives. Like, a lot of people, they just don't have that perspective. So being able to read like history books or listen to philosophy or just listen to other people's perspectives to be able to gain a new perspective yourself and question everything, like quite literally everything. I was having a conversation with my manager the other day, and I was just asking him question after question after question. I was just like, yeah, I'm like, I know I ask a lot of questions. And he's just like, he's like, that's what the best salespeople do. Like, they're a big pain in the ass, but they make you a fuck ton of money. I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be a big pain in the ass by any means. At least I don't think I am. I try my best not to be. I'm very inquisitive. I like asking questions. I'm just curious about a lot of things, and I just want to figure out why somebody doesn't want to move forward to the said thing that they need to go forward with. So it's like, why are you not dating somebody? Or why are you not going to the gym? Or why are you not eating this diet? Like, why are you not doing these certain things? And then, why questions aren't the best questions to ask, personally, in my opinion, just due to the mere fact that why questions, you can usually come up with any justification as to why you can't do this thing. Like, let's say, or imagine you had a kid, and that kid is young, and it's like, hey mom or hey dad, I'd love to have this cereal, this toy, or this candy. And there's different concepts with how you can use why, because yes, it can be beneficial and you can like break people down using why. It's a little pushy in my personal opinion, but like, if a kid came up to you and was like, hey, can I have this box of cereal? And you as the parent was like, no, and they were like, why? You could be like, because. Like, you don't have to come up with a reason why. You could also be like, it's gonna be too sweet, you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get cavities, you're gonna spoil your dinner. Like, you can come up with any reason as to why. Whereas if it's just like, well, what reason do you want, what's stopping you from, like, if a kid was like, what's stopping you from letting me have, like, why, what's the reason for me not being able to have this said thing? And you can kind of come up with the same reasons why as well in those regards. It's just what questions, or how questions, or who questions seem to be a bit better than why questions, at least from my own personal experience. So like, if you're like, why is this happening to me in my life? change that and be like, what is this trying to teach me? And it's just like, why is this person in my life? Change that to like, what is this person trying to show me about myself? What is this person trying to enlighten me or incite me or teach me or instruct me or guide me or inspire me or create for me? Like, what is it? Like, everybody always comes into our life for a specific reason. Like, there's always a person in our life for any reason. We might not necessarily know that reason right now, but if we ask the questions as to like, what is this person trying to teach me, instead of like, why is this person here? Like, those questions can be good, but it also depends on where you're at. And the reason why I'm like saying why is because sometimes you might have a relationship with maybe a friend, family member, or something like that, and sometimes saying why can be like, oh, why is this person in my life? Like, you're upset over it, compared to just like, what is this person trying to teach me? Like, that to me sounds more positive instead of like a why question. You might have a different take or outlook on that, but like, for me personally, that's more what I see in those said regards, in asking what questions compared to why questions. That's just a small little insight. So like, if you can't get a job or if you can't go date, instead of asking like, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I? Because then your mind will justify it. But if you're like, what can I do to get a job? What could I do to go to the gym? What could I do to make my diet better so I could lose weight? What could I do to have stronger relationships? What could I do to go on more dates? Whatever it may be that you're trying to achieve, is because then at that point in time, you're putting the control and the ball in your court. And this was something that one of the guys that I work with now ended up saying. Like, as soon as I got accused for something, it was just like, oh, what do you do to break it? I was like, I don't know, I was just messing around and it just stopped working. Like, I know sometimes this is like, it's just he's like, you really jumped, like, you really accepted that blame really fast. I was like, well, yeah, it's like, it's just easier to accept blame than blame somebody else, because I don't know, like, very well could have been my own doing for me being in this said position. But that's just my, I guess, 2 cents on the matter. Other than that, though, things are going good, dude. Like, I feel great being back. This whole hybrid schedule, like, this is the first week. First week's basically done. I got 4 days under the belt. Also wasn't expecting a paycheck today. Got a paycheck, which was perfect, so I don't have to take any more money out of the stocks, which is fantastic. Really grateful for that. And yeah, it's just working in the office and then working from home. It's supposed to snow in one of these days, so I don't know where we're going to end up going with that per se, at least right now. It could lead somewhere else. It could not lead somewhere else. I'm not entirely sure. At this said moment, we're probably going to depend. It's going to depend on the weather and the roads. That was something else that I talked about. I know this doesn't really pertain to any of you. This is just my own thoughts and me getting just a different little perspective that I didn't originally have. And letting you know that it's just nice to actually be treated like an adult for once, because some jobs or companies don't necessarily always do that all the time. So I am grateful for that, which is nice. This is just because now I can still like do this stuff as well too, and then I can also share the information, the insights, or just different strategies or tactics that I have. Because like, dude, my days the past 3 days and even today as well too, it's just like, it flew by because I had stuff that was like learning and expertise and like steps that I needed to take. Whereas like when I was doing it on my own, it was kind of hard for me to fulfill my day. Don't get me wrong, like I was able to do it for at least the first like about a year or so. And then as soon as I was like, well, I need to get back into like building up and getting a job or an income or something along those lines, that's where it took me a little bit of like just staying at home, and I wasn't able to go to the mountains or hike as much as I would have liked to, because I think I said this a couple days ago, I didn't want to have to be spending money on like gas and things like that. I'm also really wanting to get like a faster car, bro, because the Jeep's great for like the outdoors, like the nature stuff, but like for me having to go to work or drive in traffic or things like that, I'd rather have a car that has a bit more oomph to it, so I can like get in and out of certain places. These are just other thoughts that I have. I know that doesn't really help with my retention or anything like that, but I just like sharing my ideas and thoughts that I have. But yeah, just being able to be treated like an adult, and it's just like, yeah, if the weather, if it's wet or whatever it is, and you stay at home to do your work, like, so be it. Like, that's cool. So I'm like, that's cool. So I don't have to drive in the snow. Plus I also get like a month of vacation, which is sweet. Instead of like the 2 weeks, I get a whole 4 weeks basically, which is pretty sweet. 14 days is technically 3 weeks, I guess, when you think about it, right? 14 days because of 5 working days, so you have 5, 10, 15, it's almost 3 weeks. Even though it sounds like 2 weeks, because I forget about the weekends, you know? Yeah, I don't know, dude. Things I think are gonna be going pretty dang smoothly. I'm excited to see how quickly I can earn back what I ended up, like, just that plus more. And just, even if I don't, like, I'm just gonna have fun, do what I enjoy, just learn as much as I possibly can. And this is, I think, gonna be a slightly different approach from what I was doing beforehand, which I'm really grateful for, actually, because I wasn't wanting, like, I can make $100 a day if I really have to, and I'm grateful that I did that because I was able to grow my communication skill base a lot quicker doing it that way. The guy that I was talking with today, he was telling me that he's like, you don't expect to be, like, you won't be having to dial, like, do 100 outreaches per day. And I was like, okay, cool. So it's much more relationship based, which I think will be fun. Exciting is still, like, transactional to a certain extent, which is also great. Much more predictable, reliable income as well too, which is solid. And yeah, just kind of seeing where things end up going on and with this. Well, yeah, one of the other people that I was talking with, she let me know she did it, and I was like, oh, how exciting. And she's like, yeah, it's not that exciting. I was like, that got me thinking. I was like, why do people not do things that they're excited about? Like, I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see what I can do. I like to be able to, like, I just updated my LinkedIn profile today too, and I was like, let's see how I can grow. Like, let's see, you know, some people can be like, that's stupid and things like that, but I don't know, bro. For me, it's kind of fun. I enjoy it. This is the thing, and why I say, like, you need to understand what is happening and what the people in your life are trying to teach you, along with what you are trying to teach yourself. Because by doing that, you can understand yourself a lot more. And I believe that the best discovery that anybody else, just anybody in general can make, is the discovery of themselves. That's my 2 cents, at least. And yeah, if you guys need anything, you made it to the end of the video. I might have pitched this or brought this up a couple days ago, but I'll say it nonetheless. Do coaching if you want it. Right now, primarily just on the weekends. Leave a comment. I'll give you my email or some shit like that. We can schedule a time if you want to do that. Otherwise, hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this. If you're out on a walk, enjoy the walk. If you're going to bed, good night, sleep well. If you are listening to this with friends, tell your friends I say hi. And yeah, wish you all the best. It was also a great day out today. It's 58. It's actually a high of 64, I think. It's getting warm, even though I said we're supposed to have snow on one of these days. I'm gonna go down here and see if I can find a parking spot. Because even with it being Friday, dude, it's usually not this packed on a Friday, but there we go. Let's take this one. Cool. Yeah. I think I've just built in the habit of making these videos in the car. It's just easier. Most of the time beforehand, this is just a little side tangent, I guess, I suppose. If you made it to the end of the video. Usually when I drive, I don't talk in the car if it's just myself. Unless I have the camera, I'm just sitting here. So, I have some videos of that too. I don't think anybody would watch that. Just me sitting and driving in the car, but could be wrong. So, with that, I'll leave you. And I wish you all the best. So thank you.